What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. Behind me, my dream shop here. Now, we have been working on this building for what seems like forever, and in fact it has. It's been over a year now since we broke ground on this project. This was a wooded lot this time last year. So with the help of a buddy or two, I was able to get this thing cleared off. We brought a ton of dirt in here. We filled this thing up and finally got the building built towards the end of summer there, beginning of fall. And as you can see, it's winter now. It's actually been about a year since we broke ground on the project, but we're this close to finishing this thing up and finally being able to move in there. So I think in today's episode, you guys are going to see the insulation being finished up, some more electrical work, some more lighting, and finally getting the metal up on the walls inside so that we can finally move some projects in here and get after it. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Well froze, eh? Oh yeah! Well, we managed to get it in here. I don't think we ended up hurting anything. The top and bottom sheets on these bundles like this are always cover sheets, so you can risk scratching them up a little bit. That won't really hurt them. But yeah, we'll get the red pulled off here and make sure it's looking good underneath.
Got the shovel.
All right, so we got the back wall completely sheeted out. We got insulation everywhere else. We are ready to finally start getting some of the metal trim up so that we can start putting sheeting on the walls. Got some J-channel on the lift here with me. We're gonna jump up there and start nailing it in place. You coming?
What?
You coming?
Yeah.
There you go. Alright, that's not the typical way you install the J channel. Normally you nail it, like face nail it, kind of like I did that one. But for our application here, we're not going on top of that header. We're going to be running underneath of it. So yeah, without having to run extra scab boards, we can just shoot nails up through the bottom of it into our header, and that'll hold it in place just fine. And we catch it on every post that we come across as well. So yeah, onward.
Now you're digging where those pegs.
Alrighty, so after watching some RR building videos, I can't remember, is it RR building or builders? I don't remember, but that dude's awesome, and he does super fantastic, meticulous work, very detailed and precise. So that's what I'm kind of going for here. Since I'm doing it myself, I got nobody else to blame, so I better do it right. So we figured out how to lay this base trim here. We didn't use a laser on it, this piece, so on the next wall we will. We got that laid out, and we're ready to start hanging our first sheet of metal. Now we're gonna have to use the laser and make sure we're keeping everything nice and straight. I guess you can get away with using a spirit level, but I'm not gonna in this case. We got the laser set up right on my mark, so that's actually 3 foot 1 inches from the corner, so that we account for our rib. And we laid it all out, and we should be good all the way down. We're not going to have any ribs land in the J channel around the windows, and we're also not going to have any issues with our corner trim landing on a rib as well. So we're just going to put some marks right now with the laser, and then we're going to get ready to toss up a sheet. All right, well, I think we are finally ready to hang some sheeting here. I said I was in the last clip, and that was 2 days ago for you guys. It took us a day to figure out how to do the J channel and get the tin all prepped out. I got the holes pre-drilled in it and everything. We're all ready to finally screw it up there. I don't know if you guys can see real well. I got the laser set up here, right on my marks. We're ready to toss this sheet up there and get rolling on this. All right, there's our first sheet up, and of course it was not without some slight trouble. We had it tight to the corner at first, and then we found out that the corner is just slightly out of square, maybe less than a ½ inch the whole length of the wall, so that's really not too bad. But we just cheated the laser over, re-squared the panel, and now we should be good to keep proceeding here. One thing that did do, having to cheat it over that little bit, is going to make it that much harder to get this next sheet in around the window. That should be fun, but we'll make it happen. Finally starting to look like a shop in here. Bam! Might have to get the step ladder and try to tuck it in that window. I'm not going to be able to come down. I need to wear gloves next time we do this. All right, well, we got that sheet up there. That was a pain trying to work that in around the window channel and everything, and I could probably hide it and never show you guys and tell you that it all worked out perfect, but I'd be a liar. I measured this thing, and it was supposed to be a 34.25, and I read it, or supposed to be 33.25, and I marked 34.25. You can even see, no, you can't see, but what is my fault is what I'm saying. I screwed up there. And I would be worried about that, except for this window next year is hopefully going to be a doorway. So that's all going to be removed anyways. Shouldn't be an issue. I'll re-flash around that at the time. And yeah, so I can live with that stupid screw up there for a year or less. Oh, I missed a screw up there too. Dang it! Anyways, we're gonna grab lunch and then finish out this wall. How about that, huh? Snazzy. For never having done sheeting like this before, especially not on this scale, I think it turned out pretty good. What do you think, Satchmo?
Oh yeah.
So we got the two long walls done here, and those ones were, well, the sheets that didn't have windows were really easy. I don't know, you were probably telling the time lapse. We could just fly through those ones, but the ones where you have to cut and fit them around the windows, that was pretty tough. But we did pretty good at it. Only bent up a little bit of trim. We can fix that out later. Now we're onto these gable walls, and they're going to be a treat because they're pretty well broken up with all the garage doors and whatnot. So these ones are probably going to take a little bit longer per foot, just because there's so many cuts and so much detail work that probably has to happen. All right, guys, I think that was a pretty successful video. I think we accomplished quite a bit here, which I'm glad about. My buddy Bob, the electrician, was busy. Look at all the conduit runs he's got done for us. So what's going on here is this upper line of conduit right there, that upper run, is going to have a couple outlets. Not every box is going to have outlets, but a couple of them will, and that's because I'm going to end up mounting cord reels up there on the wall, and yeah, that's going to be super handy, and we'll plug the cord reels into those upper outlets. But all these drops over here on the conduit, every, well, I don't know, 16, every 10 feet or so, we've got one of these drops here, and that's going to be a double gang outlet at each one of those. And we've got those up and down both walls. We've got future expansion planned in for up top there if I want to add some lights along the edges, you know, because if you do pull something high in here, it's my concern that you're going to have a little bit of shadowing on the walls, which could be easily mitigated by adding some lights right down the rafter line. A bunch of you in the comments have been asking what is going to go on with the ceiling. As you can see, it's not insulated yet, and I've mentioned it in previous videos. We're going to get some spray foam put directly onto the roof deck there, and I'm going to leave the rafters open. I like that look. Some of you may not, but it's not your shop. Me and my buddy Austin really worked hard to get as much of the tin work done as we did, and as you can see, we still have this little bit to go and the whole front wall here. And the reason we stopped is because I'm waiting on the garage door people to get back to me. So when the doors were installed, they came with 3 feet of high lift track, and basically what that means is rather than the door rolling up and stowing right even with the top of the door opening, these stow 3 feet higher than the door opening, which is about 18 feet. Had this building gone exactly according to plan and used a flat truss, that would be as high as we could get them. However, I have scissor trusses in here, which gives me added ceiling height, and our total height to the bottom of the rafter ended up being 18'6" anyways. So we got another 6 inches out of that. So what I really want to happen is I want them to come back and add 2 feet more of high lift track so we can get the garage doors stowed up 2 feet even higher to the ceiling. And in getting that door that much closer to the ceiling, that will give us that much more headroom for when we install our overhead crane, because those tracks up there for the garage door are going to dictate the height of the crane, unfortunately. Now, I could have gone with the roll-up doors like you see on a lot of factories and places like that, and they don't have that kind of the track stowage up there. The door just rolls up into a box right above the header. But I don't know if you've ever worked around those kind of doors. They're not exactly the best at keeping the weather out. They let a lot of draft through, and they're pretty noisy, and I don't like the look of that big boxy thing hanging out outside of your door there. So I'm still happy with these doors. I just want them up higher. So I'm trying to get the garage door guys back in here ASAP so we can get those lifted up. I can finish out my tin, because until they get those lifted up, there's no point in running the tin, because it'll wind up all being cut wrong probably, because the door opener and the jack shaft and the track, all that's going to have to go up that extra 2 feet. But other than that, the shop is finally coming into shape here. I'm really excited. We're coming down the home stretch. I can't wait to pull the auto car and everything else in here and start wrenching on stuff. I know it's been a while since we've done a traditional wrenching video, but the shop has been taking 110% of my time. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I thank you guys for hanging out with me, for following along. So if you like the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. It helps me to keep doing what I'm doing, keep making content for you guys. If you want to help support the channel in a big way, head on over to dieselcreek.com, pick yourself up some merchandise over there. We're working on some new designs, some new hats, some new t-shirts, all kind of stuff. So if you haven't been over there in a while, head over there, check it out, see if there's some new stuff you haven't seen yet. That's dieselcreek.com, link is down in the description. So that's all I got for now. So until the next time, from me in the big old shop here, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Later.